What's up? What it do? What it do? May I digress? And I've been on some more serious topics for a couple of days, but once again, Goofy TV has struck again. And I'm going to just get straight to the point. Gully TV, for the people who don't know, you know what I mean? I can't stand his guts. I believe he's a fraud. I believe he's a New York wannabe. And I believe he misrepresents certain things with the subculture or hip hop culture. He finally ended up saying some things out his mouth.
I'm gonna tell you how real this shit is, right? This game of life. The guy that I just went to go see in the hospital, he's about to die in a couple of weeks. He told on me before.
One of the things was, he always say rat, 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 rat. You know, people that always say rat, 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 rat. Like if he was concerned with somebody saying something about rat. So I said, all right, cool. Then I discovered that he was an Alpo lover. Boom. I understood it. Me and him did an interview, or he interviewed me, so to speak, about Rayful Edmond. I said something about Rayful Edmond being a rat. Rayful Edmond is a known rat. When he finally said something, he said, he'd always call somebody a rat, this and that. All right, cool, fine and dandy. What do I finally discover? He made this long, poetic video about him going to see a dude that's a friend of his, that's in the hospital dying. The dude that's in the hospital dying, allegedly, according to Goofy TV, told on him in what Goofy TV is calling a robbery. You know, he like to make shit sound all tough. In all actuality, they stole a purse. But he said, yeah, we did a robbery and took a purse. They stole a woman's purse at 14 and 15. Let me do a sidebar. When he was calling himself talking slick to me, so much you're nothing like me, you're a half ounce nigga, woo, 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 woo. He stole a purse at 14 or 15 years old. This crackhead buddy of his that's dying now told on him on it, right? When they did this little conniving scheme that they called themselves coming off on a lick, he said that was a good lick. They stole a purse that had $8 in it at 14 to 15. He need his ass whooped right now today to talk about that he was a D-boy. And at 14 and 15, he's my age. He's 48, I'm 48. He said at 14 and 15, him and this man stole a purse with $8 in it. And it was a good lick. He is a nothing nigga. He is a nigga that's pretending to be from the streets. He is lying about everything. And he is a rat lover. He is a bona fide rat lover. Right now at almost 50 years old, Goofy TV is going to a hospital to see his friend, his crackhead friend, that told on him when he was kid. So that means that for half of his life, more than half of his life, he's been friends with one rat who he loves. He went to see this crackhead on his deathbed. And he recalled a story that he said, y'all tell me, he said it was a good lick. $8 in a purse between him and a nigga that told on him. At 15, that was a good lick. At 14 or 15, whichever way he said it. At 14 or 15, I wasn't stealing no purse. At 14 and 15, I ain't nowhere in the world I'm breaking down $8. How bad were you doing? You supposed to be God gift to a corner, Jamil. You a rat lover. At 48 years old, you went to see a crackhead that told on you that's a rat. And you made a long speech about how your friends are your friends. And you quoted the DMX song. Bro, what type of nigga are you, Jamil? But y'all tell me what y'all think.
I just came from visiting one of my homeboys in the hospital. He got a couple of weeks left to live. His heart ain't no good. He warned me about this prior to him being hospitalized. He had told me some months back that the doctors told him that he didn't have much longer. So I got a phone call from one of his relatives, and they said, yo, Shiz is in the hospital, and you know, why don't you go down there and see him, man? You know, him seeing you probably will lift his spirits and shit like that. So this is my man and shit. We come up together, play basketball together, play football together, did time together, did crime together. And I'm gonna tell you how real this shit is, right? This game of life. The guy that I just went to go see in the hospital, he's about to die in a couple of weeks. he told on me before. He told on me before in a robbery when we was young niggas. We was in a juvenile home together. We was in a juvenile home together for, you know, robbing and stealing and shit. And this juvenile home, when we got out, they put us in a group home. And this group home, they would take us to public laundromats to do laundry and shit like that every Friday. Anyway, we seen a lady slipping in there, and we took her purse. We got away with it. Had like $8 in it. That was a nice lick when you like 14. And they ended up blaming it on another guy who's dead now. And it ended up coming back to us. And my man told on me. He told on me. And I'm sharing this part of the story with y'all about him telling on me, so we can dispel this whole rat thing. Rat. Everybody hate rats. It's a nigga watching this video just like me, who cool with a nigga that told on him, who's friends with a nigga that told on him. You know why? Because them is your friends and shit. Them is all you got. They're a part of your story and shit. You dig? And that's real. It's some people who watching this who have forgiven guys who told on him, put him in jail. Me, the shit that he told on me about, I did it. And whatever. We been got past that, but between me and him, nothing. Meant more than that. Like I said, this is one of my crimes. We was robbing and stealing together growing up. We was tagging together. For those who don't know what tagging is, that's when you get a football jersey and you get a pickle jar, and you go and you stand out in the shopping districts and you ask people to donate to your football team. That was a hustle for
You little broke ass nigga. We was already selling drugs by that time. I knew you wasn't getting no money. You ain't from the streets. You ain't come up trapping. You ain't get 5 for 50. You ain't do that. You ain't build it from the ground up. You ain't start from no 3.5. You was out there conniving and scheming and stealing purses, bro. You a purse snatcher, boy.
We did play football, but we wasn't turning in no goddamn money and shit. Whatever they put in that jar, we kept that shit. But this is how long me and him was law breaking together and shit. And I was saying to myself, don't none of this shit mean nothing. It don't mean nothing. And I'm looking at my man, I'm like, damn. It don't matter what your problem is. We all have problems. It don't matter what your problem is. If your health go bad, all of a sudden you got one fucking problem. He said this to me, so you the only street nigga that came down here to see me and shit. And I wasn't totally shocked because I'm different. I've always been different. But that's my man. And like I told y'all, he told on me before and shit. That's still my man. I left up out of there, and I was listening to DMX song Dogs for Life, and he starts the song off. He says, who I am is who I'm gonna be until I die. Either accept it or don't fuck with it. And if you're gonna be my dog, then you stuck with it. So when you somebody's dog, when you somebody's friend, when you somebody's homeboy, you accept them. Just like that, from start to finish. You know what I'm saying? And that song by X, that's one of the realest hip-hop songs, gifts ever written. He was crying on that song. He poured a lot of emotion into that song, Dogs for Life. You know what I'm saying? The nigga who I just left at that hospital, who only got a couple of weeks to live, that's my dog.